Hello everyone, welcome to Sofisar channel. In this video, we'll be going through a real-world example of a sales process that is happening between two companies. And as part of this sales process, we'll be covering all the main features in Salesforce Sales Cloud product. So this will be very important in case if you are preparing for a Sales Cloud consultant certification, because it's really important to understand the business process before you go into the details of each individual business process. So this is the sample scenario that we are going to cover. It is between two companies. One company is called Universal Computers, which is in the business of selling computers, and a hospital called the Wellzone Hospital, and they wants to buy 100 computers as part of a sales process. And we need two individual users from both sides. Tom will be the user from Universal Computer side, and Carol will be the user from Wellzone Hospital side. And Carol is the department IT head responsible for buying computers for her hospital. So this scenario, this overall sales process happens over multiple steps, and in order to cover that, I have put together a different diagram. So this is a detailed process diagram that involves 9 steps, which involves all different individual business steps that are happening as part of a big sales process. So it goes all the way from where a lead is created and how codes are sent out, and then how contract is signed and how an order is created. So at a high level, these two are the companies: Universal Computers, that is selling the computers, and the Wellzone Hospital, they wants to buy 100 computers. And usually the first step is someone from the buyer side reaches out to the product company, the company that is selling the product. So in our case, we have Carol, who visited Universal Computers website, and she filled in a contact us form in their website. And usually these contact us forms are powered by a feature called Web to Lead, which is very similar to the forms that we see in websites like Salesforce websites. Say for example, if you go to Salesforce website, you'll be able to see a form where you can fill in the details, and someone from their site will reach out to you. So similar to that, in our case, Carol has filled in the details, and it will come to Universal Computers as a lead. Since we don't have Web to Lead in place, we are going to manually create this for now, but just assume that usually it happens automatically. I am filling in the details. So once a lead is created, the first step is over. In our case, we have created the first lead. So the second step is usually the lead will get assigned to some internal user, a sales agent. In our case, Tom is our internal user. So as Tom, I will. So here we are logging in as admin always, but assume that this lead creation step usually happens through some automation, and the data comes into Salesforce. So now Tom goes into the website. Tom goes into Sales Cloud, and he finds this lead. And usually the first step that a sales agent does is they usually reach out to the user to get more details. So in this case, he has all the details of Carol, and from description he was able to find that she's interested in buying some computers. So he will go in, and he will usually give her a phone call. But since he has the number already here, he can either dial with his phone number, or he can even reach out through an email and then set up a meeting. So, but whichever way he proceeds to the next step, usually he tracks the steps here. So like say in our case, he gave a call to Carol and assumed that she expressed her interest in buying 100 computers from Universal Computers. So he will just track it here. Carol wants to buy 100 computers, and once he is sure that it is a genuine interest, usually we already skipped ahead to the third step. So Tom gave a call to Carol, and he got more details, and he created he logged the call here. And usually the step that happens after that is the conversion of lead. So we have a lead here already, and once a sales agent know that it is a genuine interest, usually they go and convert the lead. So usually there will be a button convert in lead. So when we convert the lead, usually we will get these options, like you will get an option to create a new account, contact, and opportunity, or you can even say it was a second opportunity from the same client, and you already have their account and contact details in Salesforce. So you will just select choose existing in that case. But in our case, Carol is a brand new customer, and we don't have their account details also. So we just create new records, and usually in the opportunity name we give descriptions. So here we can say like 100 computers. Just to differentiate it from the title, we can give the opportunity name here. So once it is converted, it will create an account, a contact, and an opportunity. And if you know the Salesforce object model, account is the most parent object, and contact and opportunity are child of account. So if you go to account, you will be able to see a related contact for Carol, and an opportunity for selling 100 computers. And the account name is usually the company name that is coming from the lead. So now we have completed the next step also, which is converting the lead into account, contact, and opportunity. So at this point, Tom has talked to Carol, and he knows that she wants to buy 100 computers. So the next step is to send her a quote. A quote is nothing but a documentation telling this many we can sell this many computers for this price. So let's go and see how to generate a quote in Salesforce. Yeah, but before generating quote, make sure that you have quote feature enabled in Salesforce. So if you go to setup, and if you search for a quote, there will be quote settings, and from quote settings you can enable or disable this feature. In my case, it is already enabled. That's why you are able to see you'll be able to see it in opportunity layout. So quotes are usually generated from opportunity. So you go to opportunity, and you generate a quote from here. But sometimes there will be additional conversations that are needed before we go into the quote generation process. If that is the case, usually the sales agent will add the products here. So in our case, Carol is interested in buying 100 computers, right? So we select this. We specify that she's interested in 100 computers, and the individual price of one computer is 500. So once I have created this opportunity product here, I can see that the total amount has changed to reflect the multiplication of 100 into 300. And usually it goes to additional internal discussion and external discussion, especially when it is a large deal like this. They will be in this case, Universal Computers will be discussing internally to see whether they can give any discount or how to maximize their profit. So say in our case, they will be going through these different statuses, and once they have gone through all these statuses, usually they will send a quote out to the end user. So that's usually denoted by this uh, proposal or price quote. So usually what happens here is they will generate a quote from here. So let's say it's going to expire by end of the month. And so it's going to well-known hospitals. Initially, when they are working on it, we will keep it in draft stage. So they can enter some details here. So here we will usually specify the point of contact from the other company, and their address will be automatically pre-filled from the account that we have in Salesforce. So let's say we are happy with the code details. So another one process that we usually do as part of creation of code is syncing the primary code to opportunity. So that is done using the start sync button. So here you can see that whatever once you have started syncing a code to opportunity, automatically the products in opportunity will be updated according to code line item. So now we have one code under the opportunity, and we are going to email, say we are going to email this code to Carol. So we have emailed the code from Salesforce to Carol. So now we are waiting for a Carol's response on the code, and say if it is going through some negotiation, we can just mark status to negotiation or review. So in our case, we have passed this step also. So Tom has sent a code to Carol, and it is for 100 computers, and the price is 50,000. Usually there will be negotiations that are happening as part of this process. Say Carol is not happy with the price, so usually they will set up additional meetings, discuss further to see whether they can reduce the amount, all these things. So in this case, say they gave a call to each other, or they set up a meeting, and offline they have decided that Tom can give another 10% discount, and they will give 1 year free warranty also for the product. So this is to make sure that the deal closes, because usually Tom's company will be selling it at a higher profit. So giving a 10% discount on such a large deal is usually a win-win for both companies. So now what happens is, from opportunity, now Tom has to create a new code. So here it's again 100 computers discounted. So initially it is in draft stage. Let's say we are good with the details. Oh, so here we have missed one thing. Before we send out, we need to apply the discount. So usually that is applied in opportunity. So what we'll do here is we will go here, edit. Oh, sorry, it's not applied in opportunity. Usually the discount is applied in the code itself. So we'll go to the code. We have the product added here, right? So we will give a discount here. So we are going to give 10% discount. So once that discount is applied, this amount will reduce to 45,000 instead of 50,000. But still, in order for this data to sync back to the opportunity, you need to mark this new code as the syncing code. So now the data will be syncing over to the opportunity, and if we go to the opportunity, you should be able to see that the amount has reduced. So at this point, we have sent a code also to Carol. So in our case, let's assume that Carol is happy. So we have passed step 7. Tom has sent a code to Carol, and let's assume that Carol is happy with the code. So she is going to sign a contract. So usually that happens outside Salesforce, and usually we just track the contract alone in Salesforce just by creating a contract record and linking it. So let's do that. So let's assume that Carol is happy with the deal, and she signed the contract. So we'll just close this opportunity, and here we have two fields. So then we can either mark it as 1, which means the company has got this deal, or say Carol decided to go with some other company. In that case, we'll be marking it as close to lost. So in our case, we have won this deal, so we mark it as close. So that basically means that we have successfully closed this opportunity. So next, in order to track that opportunity, in order to track the new contract, so we'll go to contract object. We'll create a new contract that represents the legal document that is signed between the companies. So the contract starts from it's with the Wilson Hospital. Customer that signed the order is Carol. Company, it's usually our company name will come here, and the company signed on 30. Say customer also signed on 29. Usually this can be facilitated by external e-sign products if needed, and usually we fill in all these details if but in our case, for the sake of simplicity, let's just save it. So at this point, we have created a contract denoting that this sale is authorized between two companies. And usually along with the sale, we create an order also. So the order management in Salesforce is pretty limited, but still it is useful to track simple orders. So in our case, this is a contract that we just tracked in Salesforce, and it is with this hospital, and the order is starting on say 31st. So Carol is the customer. From company side, our user authorized it. So usually usually when we create a product, it automatically doesn't copy the products from related code or opportunity products, so we have to add it manually. So in our case, we just select this. Here we can build some automation if we need. We can probably build a custom interface where we can clone the code products into an order. Let's see if we can specify the discount here. Yeah, there is no way to specify discount here. Yeah, but since we gave for 50% discount, probably we can put it this way to reflect the total price. Yeah, that's pretty much the process. So here we went from end to end of the sales cloud process, that is two companies selling products between each other, And initially the company that wants to buy the product goes into the website and fills in the details, and then a lead gets created in the company that sells the product, and then someone reaches out to the company that wants to buy the product, and if they are genuinely interested, usually the product selling company converts it into an account and a contact and an opportunity also, and they generate codes as part of this process, and emails PDFs version of the code, emails PDF version of the code. And there can be negotiations sometimes, and if there are negotiations, usually there might be some discounts for product adjustments provided as part of the negotiations. And once both sides are happy, the company who wants to buy the product will be signing a contract. And at that point, if we are tracking contract and orders in Salesforce, we'll be creating two records in contract and order objects, and we'll be linking everything together. Yeah, that is pretty much the Sales Cloud business process. Now in future videos we will go through how individual steps are happening, what are the other features, like we just skipped over the process telling like we will be using web to lead to send lead into Salesforce, but we didn't go into any details. All those details will be covering in future videos. Thank you for watching the video. Hope you guys liked it. Please like the video and subscribe to the channel.